you could just get in so much trouble with this.
So they sell them with an extra license, don't they? So you have a spare.
Don't let your 16-year-old take this to the prom. I mean, this feels like a Miata. I mean, oh God, the handles.
So Jay, open top motoring with 1600 horsepower. The ideal combination?
1500 or 16?
1600. 1600 horsepower.
I must say this is the best version of the W16 I've seen. When the Veyron came out, first of all, it was incredible at the time, 1,000 horsepower. I mean, I remember Ferdinand Peake told the engineers, I want 1,000, and they said, it can't be done, and he just said, no, you're going to do it. Because it didn't sound like it could be done at the time. But with, I think it had, that version had like 12 radiators,
yes,
just so much cooling, so much heat being made. And this is the, well, the most current version of that fabulous motor.
And the last iteration.
I guess it is, isn't it?
Last iteration, the next Bugatti model, the Tourbillon, will have a V16, which of course is also an engine that you love back from the 1930s.
Right.
But this W16 is just so incredibly romantic. I mean, it's sort of not only performance, but you think of airplanes and exotic configurations of engines. You know, that famous X8 in the...
it really doesn't ring home that it's 16 cylinders. Something makes you go, yeah, but wow. Oh, I guess it is, isn't it? Yeah.
And of course, in the past, you increase the number of cylinders to add smoothness, not necessarily power.
Right.
And this certainly is smooth. I mean, 16 cylinders and 4 turbos. I mean, there's got to be no moment at all in the power range when it's not doing something.
And you realize I've sold close to 400 of these cars with this engine in the various forms, which is unbelievable at that price. You know, they're the only ones to be able to do it. McLaren with the F1 couldn't do it.
Right.
You know, all these people came out with exotic supercars, Saleen, everybody, multi-million-dollar cars, and there weren't enough people to buy them. But apparently, they've sold well over 350 of these. Not this particular model, but all the 16.
This is a limited edition model, and also limited in a very good way. I mean, 99 period built of these.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that we've had this conversation before. The Volkswagen Group, and now they're in partnership with Rimac. The Volkswagen Group has been a great brand steward, and I think the answer to that question about how they've been able to sell all these cars is the fact that you really do feel a connection with the kind of ideas that Ettore Bugatti and Jean Bugatti had when you drive one of these modern Bugattis.
Right, right. And it's ironic because it's almost the exact opposite of what Bugatti would have done. Light, simplicity, you know. Although the Royale, that was, but that was not a success.
Although I am, in order to honor the Royale, wearing a shirt that has one of the Bugatti rail cars, which are, of course, are powered by the Royale engines. But this is an amazing sort of farewell. It is not, Bugatti's at great pains to say that this is not an open top Chiron.
Right.
This is a Chiron base. The monocoque, the engine, the suspension, all of that is Chiron, but a totally different custom built body.
Right.
Which also, again, speaks to something that has made a return, coach building. In effect, that's exactly what Bugatti has done.
And this is really an attractive car. The Veyron is a handsome car. It's a good look, but it's not as sexy as this. Yeah. This really, just the front, and of course this should be a dark color.
Yes, this dark green of this car is absolutely perfect.
It's just fantastic.
For this shape.
At night you'd think it was black.
It gives you that whole sort of Batman vibe.
And you don't get the feeling that it's an incredibly heavy car for a sports car. But it carries its weight well, you know. It's like watching Jackie Gleason tap dance. You're amazed that a big man can move that way, you know what I'm saying? And this is the same sort of thing. Because when you throw it into a corner, physics is physics. 2 tons is 2 tons, but the fact that they're able to hold it in check and through electronic aids and whatnot, make you feel as if it's as light as a Miata, that's pretty amazing.
That is the amazing thing. You know, they take all this technology to basically counteract what intuitively you think should not work at all.
Right.
Very heavy, very powerful, very hot, but with, you know, all-wheel drive and the stability controls that this car has. And of course, cars like this are also made so that you can turn all this off, which I would never ever recommend to anybody.
And I got to give the VW Group credit for just having the warranty and service departments take. So many people build supercars, they get sold, people quit, they go out of business, and the people are left with an unfixable. Bugatti has been there. The car's been out 20 years now, and they've got enough of them on the road. They know how to fix them, know how to service them, and you can actually get it done. I mean, it's not going to be inexpensive, but it's certainly no more than any other car.
No, and they actually encourage you also to, frankly, if you're a smart Bugatti owner, modern Bugatti owner, you use the car.
Yeah.
Because if you drive the car, it's actually easier to maintain than if it just sits. And as you said, they support it. One of the other things which is very interesting, I am a closed car guy.
Right.
You're a Californian, you like the open roadster feel. But I have to say also, this is it's certainly not a quiet car, but it is very comfortable. The rake of the windshield, the height of the windshield, the height of the rear deck gives you a really comfortable feeling inside the car while you're driving. Also the sound, I mean, the reason why you buy an open top super or hypercar is for the sound.
Right.
And this is a really interesting sound because it's much higher pitched, I think, than most people would expect it to be.
Well, let's see how it accelerates.
Yeah, like a video game.
Pretty good, yeah. And of course, the wastegates behind your ear are just fabulous.
Yeah, that's absolutely hysterical. You think it sounds like one of those a hovercraft about to take off.
And I love the fact that with each new iteration of the car, it got better and improved and more powerful. So many times for years, they just kind of built the same car with a different body over and over.
Right.
But everything they've learned each year, they put into the next one. And this is just a fabulous car to drive. Yeah, this is,
The detailing is wonderful. It's very simple. I think it's much simpler inside than the early Veyrons were.
The early Veyron, the gauges were very small. This one, you've got your tack and your speedometer right up in front of you.
We talk about cars that have high doors, and somehow this gives you a cocooning feeling, which it doesn't give you. If this were a coupe, you'd have a totally different experience.
You do get that warp speed sort of thing. Steering wheel is very nice, very well contoured. Your thumbs fit right in here. You got the paddles right in front of you.
It's interesting too that there isn't a lot of space inside the car, but it doesn't feel really cramped. The seats are a little narrow in the hip for me, but
well, you're not going to be bringing home plywood from the Home Depot.
It's also interesting that it's got the traditional racing flat bottom steering wheel, but there's actually plenty of room for your legs, so it's not really absolutely necessary, but a nice look.
Yeah, it really is a fantastic car.
And I think we're in normal ride mode, which is very comfortable on these not very smooth roads.
Well, somebody said for road hugging weight. But that's what I mean, with modern electronics and dampeners, you can just do amazing. I mean, this feels like a Miata. I mean, oh God, it handles.
And it's not a small car.
No, it's not a small car.
How's how do you think the vision is?
The vision is excellent. Mm-hmm. You know, I always use as my Ford GT, this A-pillar is enormous here, and I'm always doing this. I don't have that here. The windshield goes enough off to the side so I'm peripheral vision and can still see what's over here. So I think they've done a terrific job on it.
They've also positioned the mirrors well so that they also don't block that front angle.
But even at 50% off, it's $3 million. If they had a 50% off sale, it'd still be.
Well, you know, it gets to the point, as well as we've often discussed, that performance now has come so far down the scale.
Right.
Where you can go into any dealership for practically any brand and buy certainly a 400 horsepower car, and most have 500 horsepower cars, and sort of performance starts at 6.
And they made the performance cheaper. I mean, there was a time when, tires were crazy expensive. Now they use, it's still an expensive tire, but it's a more reasonable tire.
Right, and this is a car that obviously is designed to be the fastest open-topped car made for production.
Right.
But it's also not a car for an ultimate speed record.
Right.
So you don't have to worry about that. There should be a sign on the dashboard saying, "Please inhale before accelerating."
I know, it's just crazy. It's almost electric in that sense. I drove the Rimac.
Ah, yes.
Which I think was, at least till whatever comes out next week, the fastest car.
Right.
And that was pretty amazing. But this is much more visceral.
And it'll be interesting to see how the Tourbillon, which I think the Tourbillon is really the first of the Bugattis that was developed with Rimac.
Right.
And so it'll be interesting to see how they can keep this sort of brand DNA that they've got working between the Veyron and Chiron.
Well, the Rimac is all electric. This is all gasoline. I assume the sweet spot is somewhere in between.
Yeah.
You have a 16-cylinder engine with an electric assist, much like the world's greatest performance bargain, the ZR1X by a Corvette, for less than the sales tax on you can get 10 Corvettes for the sales tax on this.
It's like a luxury hotel. There are hotels that charge a lot for a room and say that makes us a luxury hotel. It's what is it that actually provides true luxury? Service, attention to detail.
Yeah.
So a lot of cars today are fast. So fast isn't it. You have to have a lot more. Wow, that's amazing. We just stopped for a moment and I just got a little bit of the heat soak from the engine coming in. And they are incredibly efficient with their heat dispersal.
Boy, I don't get any of it,
Yeah, I just got it. When we just stopped, the wind blew from the back of the car, and it was not unpleasant, God knows. But going back to luxury and speed, you have to have more than speed. It has to be a whole package so that you know that you've got horsepower, you can use horsepower that makes sense for the situation. Just not an engine that gives you barroom horsepower, because a lot of it is not about the ultimate top speed. It's about what you can do in that sort of 70, 90 to 120 range,
Yeah. I'm not sure, is that a pop-off valve or a wastegate I'm hearing?
I think it's the pop-off, actually.
Yeah.
We've been saying wastegate, but it's a pop-off valve. When you lift off on the throttle, it relieves the pressure.
Right. Well, whatever it is, it sounds great.
It does indeed.
If you know, let us know, because this is my first time in this vehicle. We just got it today. It stopped raining. I thought it was wastegate, but now that you mentioned it, I think pop-off valve is probably more correct. Whatever it is, it sounds terrific. Well, it's funny. This is geared to go 282 miles an hour. And it's still incredibly fast on 0 to 60.
Yeah.
Imagine if they forgot about the rear end ratio. Oh my God, you'd be 0 to 60 in under a second, probably. About a second. It's really the hand of God pushing you down the road. It's just so smooth.
Yeah. Speaking of that, because it's something that I know that you often evoke. This seems to feel to me like the combination of electric, steam with the effortlessness, and the gasoline for that oral sound.
I agree. Yeah, it really is. I mean, the Veyron would seem so primitive after driving this, when you go back to the first generation of the 60.
Yeah. I love the Veyron. I really do. I personally prefer the Veyron to the Chiron because it feels more car-like. The Chiron really wants to go, and it's very interesting that this is the Chiron platform engine, and it doesn't have the same feel to me as the Chiron did.
Oh,
seats
this
before
is
you
the
move
best
them
looking.
on.
This is the best looking
Yeah.
version of Bugatti I've ever seen.
It is celebrated as an open car. All I would want is a roof,
Yeah.
because I like a roof.
Well, you know, I got a Carrera GT, and with the roof off, it's a completely different car.
Oh, I can imagine.
It's so claustrophobic with the roof on top, but with it off, you go, oh my God, this thing is fabulous.
Well, you know, you also remember that for a very long time, the concept of high-performance open cars was almost oxymoronic. Nobody wanted to make a high-performance open car because you would lose so much torsional rigidity by taking the top off. But again, now these carbon fiber tubs are so rigid in themselves, you practically don't need a body at all.
Right,
you know?
right, yeah. It's pretty, yeah, I love the speedometer layout the way it is. I love the speedometer goes to 300, and that's not kilometers. You think, oh, it must be kilometers. No, it's not. The only thing is, 60 miles an hour is like where 7 o'clock is on a clock. You don't even feel like you're doing anything.
Wait, I want to come back to the instrument cluster. It's very funny, and this is going to be completely off the wall. As you know, I've got a lovely 2-cylinder Moretti 500.
Right.
The instrument cluster looks exactly the same.
Oh, that's where you go.
It is fantastic. So
I mean,
just
you're not
now
even-
just now on that, you just got to about 600 horsepower on that little run.
I know. I know. Tickling the gas pedal.
Exactly. Well, Jay, so what are your overall impressions of
Well,
the final iteration of the W16?
I wish we were in Nevada or someplace where you could really put a foot in this thing. But, you know, it's fun to drive even at normal speeds. I mean, every time you hear those wastegates pop off, and it's a very entertaining vehicle to be
It's an
in.
amusement
It's
park.
comfortable, sight lines. It's really fantastic. It's amazing how they just improved it. Because I wasn't crazy about the Veyron, just the idea of, you know, I just gotten the McLaren F1, and that was 2,300 pounds. And I saw no reason why this had to be 4,000 pounds. But now they've got it. I mean, yeah, I think it's just great. They've done a wonderful job. They've done a wonderful job with their concierge service. If you buy one, they stay with you, you know. I mean, it's really terrific. I'm glad to see the company prospering.
And I think that this is definitely an example of a future classic.
Oh, yeah.
It's got all the ingredients.
Well, it is already.
Amazing swan song for the W16.
I just think someday someone will go, you know, I only paid $6 million for mine. Get out of here! Yeah, that's all it was.
Bugatti makes history with the W16 engine in this car. You can watch history here in the Audrain Museum Network by becoming a subscriber. Cars from the 19th century through the latest and classics of tomorrow. Join us.